Great show, everybody. We're all counting on you.
The second round of the CP Women's Open underway. Wascana Country Club here in Regina, Saskatchewan. And just 2 minutes ago, this was the scene at the 10th tee, the player they all came to see.
Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 8:28 starting time. First to the tee from Smith Falls, Ontario, Canada. Please welcome Brooke Henderson.
The star of Canada, 6th career LPGA Tour wins. Terry Gannon along with Hall of Famer Judy Rankin, and they lined the fairways yesterday to watch her shoot 66, and they're hoping to see more of that today, Jude.
Well, she certainly seems to be in good form, and she's got a great start going, which she didn't have in this championship last year.
Yeah, it's good.
First time this event has come to this province, Saskatchewan. It was near her home in Ottawa last year. Made the cut right on the number and then shot a course record 63. Came up a little bit short on Sunday, but she and her sister Brittany out there playing here, and the wind is up in the last 15-20 minutes. We do expect more of it throughout the afternoon, so we will see. Could be a little more difficult on day 2 as 8 under leads the way here in Regina. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Regina, Saskatchewan, it's second round coverage of the CP Women's Open. 18th edition, but roots taking you all the way back to the early 70s. First time here at Wascana Country Club, which has been around since 1912. Long been right here in this part of Saskatchewan. CP, the title sponsor, and this is the National Championship of Canada. It is flat. There are no elevation changes, maybe a rolling little mini hill here or there, but the wind you see moving the marshland, which does come into play much more than it did yesterday. Judy and I in the booth, along with Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, and Gail Graham, the Canadian Golf Hall of Famer, here walking the fairways with a couple of the celebrated groups. Take you out to the 11th. Say hello to Tom.
Thank you, Terry. This is Austin Ernst for a birdie. Gail Graham is watching this group.
And she left one just outside the hole on 10.
Not this time.
Great start.
And we'll go back over to the 10th.
So that group with Brooke Henderson, you've got Anna Nordquist and this player right here, Sung-Hyun Park, the #1 player in the Rolex rankings, and this was yesterday before she teed off. David Jones, her caddy, given the #1 bib. So you wear that as you walk the fairways. Here's the #1 player, was Arya Jutanagarn. And Sung-Hyun Park kind of establishing herself as one of the dominant players, no doubt. Now, she won last week, Judy. She is the defending champion of this event.
She's a pretty astounding player, and right here, right here at this very first hole, I think we'll see her give herself that birdie opportunity that you really need to do that on this 10th hole. It's a short par 4, front hole location today, maybe a little tougher than the one that was farther back yesterday.
And Jerry Foltz is out there with these 3.
82 yards for the second shot from the first cut of rough. Not going to be able to get a lot of spin on it. To get it close, might have to land it in that fringe short, and that's a area that has been resodded and is a little sketchy, so you never really know. I agree, much tougher pin. I spoke to her and David on the range yesterday and paid her a nice compliment, and she just smiled. She's a really, really intriguing young lady with a great personality, but she's painfully shy, and he told me she just doesn't know how to accept compliments, but they're going to keep coming, Judy.
Yeah, that's a good shot, and she played it exactly the way you wrote it up, Jerry.
So, I mean, it's good. So probably 57. So 52 front, 57. I think
Just anything over the 52 is good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 50, 52?
Yeah, that's fine. I like the 52. I think that's perfect, but those are fine numbers.
I'm just adding it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, 52, 52, 53.
52 or 53 should get the second shot landing right on the front edge for Brooke. We lasered it at 61 yards to the hole. Here's a go.
It's an awkward distance, I think. You can say 52, 53, 54, but the fact is it's a field shot.
Yeah. So, Brooke Henderson on Tuesday received her own bobblehead. You have one?
I do now.
Not of you, of Brooke you're talking. I thought maybe you had one.
No, I have Brooks. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but I mean, you remember we've got one right here in the booth with us right now. But last year it was extraordinary to see the scenes in Ottawa. And this year, Saskatchewan, I think it's one of the first times she's even been to this province. But boy, they know her well. They were out in full force yesterday, and they're going to be out today with expectations.
Well, the very interesting thing is this tournament travels around Canada. And Saskatchewan and Wascana Country Club really wanted this tournament.
Yeah.
They really pressed CP to bring the tournament here, and now they're going to come out in full force.
6 under 66 yesterday, so she's off and playing well. Sungyeon Park, though, I mean, how do you beat her on a golf course? Last week it seemed like she was, and then she comes back and wins. She's just rolling right now.
You know, she plays a couple of ways. She plays in one way where she seems to have no nerves at all, where she just goes about her business. But every now and then when she's in the heat of the battle, there's another Sungyeon Park that you can see has a little bit of nerves. But every time that shows up, the next time it shows up less and less. So she, I think, is a fast learner, and with her physical talent, everybody's going to have to look out, I think, for quite some time.
Going to be a different day than yesterday. It was so calm yesterday, and it started out that way 40 minutes or so here. Those that went out, it had an advantage, but now the wind's starting to pick up.
Right, and then the wind is everything on this golf course. There are a lot of little ponds, a lot of little water hazards. There are great expanses of marshland that are all hazards. The greens can get pretty firm, so the afternoon will really have to deal with that. But the breezes right now will do nothing but increase.
I'm starting the charge for a Judy Rankin bobblehead. Starts right now. You heard it. All right, back out to 10, the third for Henderson.
Should be moving right off this fringe. Probably is going to bobble a little bit going through there, which it did. Good line, though.
Oh, how about a start like that? Man. Missed green, who cares?
She's got a look on her face like she's a little embarrassed to have not hit a great second shot and make birdie. But you know what? That's the nature of the game, and she played a great third shot.
Within one. Up to 12 on the tee, Angel Yin and Gale there.
And this is a fun player to watch, Terry. She absolutely wails on it. And this has got a great line. There's a little swale in the fairway. If she can carry that, she'll get some extra yardage.
Yeah, that was a great shot shape for this hole, wasn't it, Gail?
Absolutely perfect, Judy.
Named the Solheim Cup as a captain's pick by Julie Inkster last time around. To 11.
This is Jin Young Ko for a birdie.
Long, long putt.
Oh, wow. That's about as long as we might see this week. Good surfaces of the greens here, and players pretty confident when they get on the putting surface. Nasa Hataoka, she was round an 8 under par yesterday, one of the co-leaders after that first round. She's starting on the first hole. Featured groups starting on number 10, and we'll go back over to the 10th.
Park lining this up for birdie.
8 feet away with the much improved putting style that we've talked about in, well, pretty much all season since she moved away from the ball, able to let that putter move freely through impact. And the putting stats, although not remarkable for the season, in her 3 wins are extremely remarkable. This one shouldn't do much. And starting, Judy, to do that intangible thing that I didn't think players could learn to do, starting to make putts with more frequency when the pressure gets higher. And that was always the bugaboo in her brief professional career.
Money. 2-time major champ, including the KPMG Women's PGA Championship this year. And the 24-year-old off to a great start, too. 1 for 1 as they start this second round of the CP Women's Open here in Saskatchewan. Today's coverage is brought to you by CP, proud title sponsor of the Canadian Pacific Women's Open. By CME Group, how the world advances. And by Win Grips, the best grips in golf.
Back on the tee at the 11th, second hole of the day for Brooke Henderson.
Much different hole, playing into what is still only a breeze and will turn into a wind, as Judy said. But going with a hybrid directly into it.
Sit.
On a great line if it's the club.
Asking for it to sit down. No surprise that she might be a little long of this hole today. Now we'll go up one to the 12th.
Anthony in second here at the par 5.
And after that beautiful tee shot, just 208 to the hole. And it's got a good line.
Hit hard, didn't it? Look at that hop.
Just perfect.
Oh,
What a shot. I tell you that watching somebody who's that powerful and then is on their game and is accurate is so much fun.
Now Park on the tee at the 11th.
Going with a 5-iron, a shot that most players would try and hit what old schoolers like myself, Tom, would call a knockdown shot. She doesn't often hit a shot like that. She does a little bit more what Tom Watson did in his way to winning 5 Open championships. Just hits it easier with a normal swing, normal trajectory, taking the spin off the ball, and therefore the wind not hurting it nearly as much. Exactly what she's done there. This is drifting to the right edge of the green.
Works well for that front hole.
Lincecum on the way. Our top tracer technology, little fade.
Yeah, fairway, but having cut it out there is going to make it a much longer shot into the green.
A- on that tee shot.
Apparently somebody knew what was coming.
Exactly. This is where we are, about 100 miles north of the U.S. border, Montana and North Dakota. Regina, Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, a few hours north. Golf Course Superintendents Association of America and the course setup. Of course, it's been around a long time. 1912 is when this opened up, Judy.
And we were told that most of the trees you see here were planted in 1911, the vast majority. So it's a very interesting landscape here. The greens are really putting well, even though there's a combination of grasses and a little bit of patchwork. Sometimes a little quicker than 11.5 on a stimp meter.
Yeah, a lot of the POA was killed. The rains that turned to ice and stayed here all winter. Back out to 11.
Two-time major champion Nordquist.
For hybrid, for perennially one of the best ball strikers on the LPGA Tour. That was very high, but good line.
Oh yeah, really good shot.
Good shot.
Nasa Hataoka over at 4, other side of the golf course. Second shot coming up. Gotten to know her this season. The win at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship.
This fourth hole, par 4, more than 400 yards, and it's kind of the beginning of 3 or 4 holes, actually 5 holes that are pretty tough on the front 9. Good shot.
Really good. Top 10, checking in at number 8 on the CME Globe race. Running out of time that way too to make it to Naples.
4 was the second hardest hole on the golf course yesterday. So,
yeah, you really take advantage of those opening holes on the back 9.
Yeah, the back 9 is kind of where you need to cash in.
Here at 12, Austin Ernst in her third.
From a very poor lie. Really needs to make sure she gets it up there.
Yeah, there's still a little dew around, Gail, because we could see a little water splash.
And that makes that grass even more grabby.
Brooke will be first to putt here for birdie. And Brooke Henderson is just a big star here in Canada, and it was great to see one of her fellow professionals giving her a little encouragement yesterday. Graham Dillette, who is from Saskatchewan. He's from about an hour southeast of here, so he's been keeping a close eye on this event. He says Brooke is single-handedly changing the game of golf for young girls in Canada the way Weersy did for us in the early 2000s, referring to Mike Weir. She's a superstar, so we will just have to see the impact that it has, and maybe we will have, what, in 10, 15 years, another crop of young Canadian players coming out just like Brooke, and many of them may be out here watching with their parents and grandparents this week. It's amazing the impact she has just from being on site and seeing it with your own eyes. Last year was incredible, Jerry, in Ottawa. There were just thousands and thousands and thousands of people on site. This week they're hoping to get something like 60,000 people here on the grounds, and it's not a big town relatively.
No, not at all. I remember last year during the Pro-Am, there was thousands of people watching Brooke, and one lady ran up to her with her infant child and threw her basically in Brooke's arms so that she could tell the story someday of Brooke holding her baby, and took a picture of it. It was, I couldn't imagine how a young lady at this point in her career deals with that kind of fame when she's north of the border here at home. And she does it so miraculously well.
Yeah, good putt there.
She is extremely gracious with everyone, and that's part of the charm.
Judy, I remember interviewing her when she was yet a non-member of the LPGA Tour, just basically bursting onto the scene, and I told all of you at that time, probably one of the best interviews in the business back then, how gracious she is with the media.
Moment ago, here at 12, Amy Yang for Eagle and the lead.
Very realistic chance here. A little bit of a hop. Ooh. Very good effort.
Yeah, played well last week. She puts herself in contention a lot. She needs to win a little bit more often, but one of the really admired players amongst players on the LPGA Tour.
This is an extremely well-balanced group. Angel Yin, Amy Yang.
And Angel's only got about 6 feet. She just watched Austin's putt come up from the other side, just missed on the low side. Has a little bit of a read. It could go just a little from her right to left. That was a spectacular shot in here.
Gorgeous. Terry, I'm trying to get some of that good balance
The yin and the yang.
by way of osmosis or something.
Got no reaction. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, I looked at you.
Okay.
That doesn't work when we're not on camera, does it?
No. It's TV. Never a doubt.
With authority.
How about a red putter when you play in Canada?
Exactly. It is Friday red today in Canada. So she's wearing red, got the red putter. It's working. Got a birdie, got an eagle. First 3 holes, 7th eagle of the season for her. What a start. 11.
This is Park for birdie.
One of those many putts you get around here that are so very straight looking, indicative of the surrounding terrain. Very flat.
Yeah. Back-to-back birdies for last week's winner and the world number 1.
All right, over to 4. Nasa Hataoka. This for birdie. The 19-year-old who won 3 times in Japan and now has won once in her 2nd year on the LPGA Tour. Actually started to come back the other way. She's had some year though, Jude. Not only the win in Arkansas, but share a 2nd at Kingsmill, share a 2nd in a major championship, the KPMG.
Yeah, Kingsmill, she lost a playoff.
Yeah.
Nordquist for birdie. Well read.
This hole's not that easy where
No.
you have 2 out of 3 birdies.
We've only seen a couple of bogeys so far today, but I think if that wind continues to strengthen throughout the day, as it is forecast to do, it's going to be more and more difficult. Henderson just taking care of business here. 2nd round of the CP Women's Open. Early coverage on Golf Channel for the LPGA this week. Will be a little bit later over the weekend. back on the 13th, and this is Angela Stanford for a birdie. Around in 70 yesterday, and a nice start today. A couple of birdies already, and that was right in the jaws. 49th in the race to the CME Globe this season is Angela Stanford as we go back to the tee at the 12th.
All right, we'll check out our top tracer technology. Brooke Henderson, the tee shot here at the par 5.
Nordquist and Park already both played identical drives down the right center. Very similar line to the one Brooke took, but a little draw on that's going to leave her a very good chance to get home in 2.
That is some swing, Jude.
Yeah, and that's pretty much her natural ball flight. A little bit right to left. She drives the ball generally pretty high.
Preferred lies all 4 days because of the damage that the ice did on this golf course over the winter. Take you up near the green, and the 3rd for Brittany Lincecum. Took that hop, kept going. Have that for birdie. Well, you know a lot about Brittany Lincecum, but she also has 2 very unique pets. Find out what they are in this quick 9 with George Savaricas.
Time now for quick 9 with 2-time major champion Brittany Lincecum. All right, right out of the gates, what's your favorite club in your bag?
Driver.
Better leap into Poppy's Pond, 2009 or 2015?
Oh man, I think they were both identical, to be honest, because I was trying to not get my face wet.
You have 2 sugar gliders as pets. Let me restart the question. What the heck's a sugar glider?
It's basically like a flying squirrel, kind of like a chipmunk.
You're not a professional golfer. What is Brittany Lincecum doing with her life?
My favorite thing to do would be like a pro fisher woman. In all honesty, I'd probably do something with children. My parents have owned a daycare for almost 30 years, and probably something in the child care business.
Brittany Lincecum, quick 9.
All right, George, for more quick 9s, visit golfchannel.com/quick9. You wanted to comment on the pets?
I just have not seen them before, and I don't know how warm and fuzzy they are.
It's a nice way of putting
Yeah.
it. 5 top 10s, including 3 third-place finishes. So Lincecum will have a birdie putt coming up. Jin Young Ko, 3 under on her opening round. 3rd shot here.
Well, the rookie is a really impressive player, but the rookie is also, I think, something like a 10-time winner in Korea. So not every rookie is brand new at what they're doing.
But the rookie season out here, a couple of wins on the LPGA Tour, including the Women's Australian Open this year.
totally crossed. And it took it crossed right about there, took a bad kick left. Yeah.
And they're just geese
I think
here
it was
as well.
Ham.
This is McDonough. Back at 12, birdie putt, Lincecum.
Boy, downhill, and you could see didn't take much of a stroke to get it well past the hole.
13.
Second for Angel Yin, bit wide off the tee here.
Flare wide right she was. Hit it far enough that the rough is not too bad. Not the greatest of lies, but having to deal with a little bit of wind now too.
She's got the power to find the green, so that's not too bad.
Jin Young Ko, this at 12 to get it to 5 under. Yeah, 10 wins on the Korean LPGA Tour, Jude, as you were saying. Top 5, race to the CME Globe. Some kind of season for her. 23-year-old to 11.
This is Maria Torres, the first player from Puerto Rico to earn a card on the LPGA Tour, rookie this year. That needs to, hit the flag. Bueno. Drano.
That's good, Tom. You two, my two guys in here are pretty sharp this morning.
You say that as if you're shocked.
Well, no, but it's early.
Yeah.
Well, Maria, 100th on the money list, so okay week here in Canada, and she'll be all set for next season. Let's go to the 5th. Hataoka, second shot. That's pretty good right there. Oh, how about another one in? I don't know the Japanese word for good, but it was really good. 10
Let's
under
just
par.
say bueno once more.
Fantastic from Nasa. What a great season it has been. A breakout year. Struggled last season in her rookie year on tour. And then already a winner in 2018. And maybe another one could come here in Canada. Spot on. Angel Yin at the 13th for birdie.
First 8 or 9 feet of this putter flat, and then it goes away quite severely downhill, quite speedy. A little swing to the left.
Just a bit more. So the wind is picking up, Gail?
Yeah, I think probably we're close to 15 miles an hour now. When you consider yesterday was 0 at this time.
Yeah.
It's huge right
Well,
now.
there was a feeling that the afternoon wave might get the better conditions. Sorry, the morning wave might get the better conditions. But if that wind is strengthening already, Gail, then it might be level playing field for both. And that is Nasa just picking the ball out of the hole at the 5th. And we'll go to 12.
Yeah, that storyline about how it's much more difficult, though. All we're seeing is golf balls go in the hole.
Well,
185 to 190. I'd say are your numbers. Just a little right of it. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Just maybe too
right
hard.
now the greens aren't too firm.
Yeah.
.213 front, 221 to the hole. Then it has to be deadly accurate to find the putting surface. It's a good line if it gets there.
Just needed a hop, didn't quite get it. Still well positioned.
It's a very interesting green at 12 and a tough green if you hit it just a little bit right or a little bit left.
Amy Yang Looking at her birdie putt here at the 13th, a short one, Gail.
Yeah, just about 6 feet. Not a lot of movement. It's just an absolutely beautiful 8-iron in here.
Show your line. Yeah, that's all right.
Watching Amy Yang today, Gail, your tempo should get a lot better when you go out to play later.
Oh, fabulous. I was lucky yesterday with area too, so my swing, I feel the osmosis.
Yeah.
Beautiful putting stroke as well.
Her putting numbers are pretty good, but what stands out to me is she's got a scoring average of 69.7 this year.
Close to winning last week. Maybe it'll be this week for Amy Yang. Angel Yin, Nasa Hataoka, both with eagles.
Hey, how was the course yesterday that some of our team played? Gail?
Back at 12, the third for par.
Got her hybrid from the fairway. Quite heavy off a side hill lie. Not an easy shot from here. Impossible downwind to land it on the green and keep it there, and that was just a really soft bounce.
We're talking about the greens being a little softer this morning as opposed to yesterday as the day goes on. Players ranked #1 this season. We've gone back and forth. Shen was there, Inby and area. Most recent, Sun Hyun Park, #1 in the world. All right, back out here for the third for Henderson.
And even from the fairway, not a gimme to get this one close. Down breeze, you have to land it just perfectly on the green with a little bit of spin and clip it nicely. 45th on tour and scrambling is Brooke, 61.2% conversion ratio.
Brooke says she works on her short game all the time, that since she's 10 years old, the strength of her game was ball striking. And she's still trying to get that short game to catch up.
Been a tough summer for her off the golf course. Lost both of her grandfathers and had to withdraw from the U.S. Women's Open because of one of those. Another look at this.
Well, you can see that little tiny divot, just kind of a brush of the turf.
To 14, and Angel Yin, co-leader.
And this is playing downwind today. Angel should have really no problem reaching if she can find the fairway. And she's just in the left-hand side of it.
Yeah, she's done that, and she should get home quite easily.
4th on tour in driving distance this season is Angel Yin. Back at 12, and now Sung-Hyun Park left herself just short of this green for birdie. I've seen one go in from this area already.
Yeah.
And even though it wasn't on the green, still able to lift clean in place and get it a perfect line, maybe even a little closer to the green from this angle. Might go a little left. The crowd just keeps increasing for this early morning start for the national hero that is Brooke Henderson. Judy and Terry, I saw there are people of all ages, even middle and older age people, taking selfies as she walks by to get her in the background. It's really a remarkable scene.
Imagine when they make the turn and go to the front 9, it'll double.
What do you think it's like for Sung-Hyun Park? She's the #1 player in the world. She's a defending champ, and yet you're not the headliner in your group.
Well, she dealt with this last year and did it quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of roars coming from throughout the course on Sunday last year, though, when Brooke was playing well, although not in contention. Sung-Hyun, though, is familiar with being the person who they all adore herself when they play in Korea with her 2 massive fan clubs.
She took an extraordinary amount of time there, which she doesn't usually do. Something about it was uncomfortable.
China's Yu Lu is going along well, but this for par at 17. It's going to be her first drop shot, and she's going to fall back to 6 under par. A couple of bogeys yesterday in her round of 67.
Talk about the fans here. Golf in general, there's such a huge participation in the game. So many people play percentage-wise across the country.
Yeah, when you consider the kind of winters that they have in Canada, I've always thought it was amazing how many people love the game of golf and how many beautiful courses there are.
Nordquist for birdie.
I like the fact that, good putt there, that on the highways, like at home we have gas stations and restaurant signs when you're getting off an exit. Here they have golf course signs letting you know where they all are.
Back to back.
Jin Young Ko's third at the 13th.
One of those places where the contouring of the green forces your hand for the kind of pitch or chip you may have to play.
A few hockey rinks in this country too, you know.
Well, you're looking at a former
player,
a goalie.
Goalie, yeah. To get it to 8 under. There you go.
The thing I remember is she said, I think you have to be just a little bit crazy to be a goalie. And she said I was a goalie.
Embrace that. A few curling centers too. Not open this time of year. We'd be there. The crew would be there tonight.
Yes, I am.
Amy Yang taking a look here in the fairway at 14, the par 5. Trying to go for it. Yep, trying to reach here. The green just clearing now.
And she's got a 259 to the hole with this wind coming from behind and a little from the player's right. A little extra help. And although there are not a lot of elevation changes on this golf course, this actually plays a little bit downhill to this green.
If you can just hit that high little draw, you ought to get this ball to chase on the green, even though it's a pretty long way.
And she's got that ball flight, Judy.
Not quite.
Must be a little soft up front.
Yeah, it seems a little softer than it was yesterday, or that it will be later today. 13.
Brooke Henderson's tee shot.
Breeze in and from the left. Oh, that she liked it instantly, and that, Tom, is right down the middle.
Not a lot of people's favorite wind, in and from the left.
Austin Ernst here at 14, taking a look at her second.
Just a yard closer than Amy Yang's of 258.
Well, you can hit something not such a high ball flight that maybe is going to run a little better, but you don't get as much help from the wind.
True, if you can get it up the right-hand side of the fairway, the downwind cut, or down green cut, I should say, it'll help.
Okay, she can most probably putt.
Yeah. A little bit worn around this green here. Hataoka second at the 6th. It's a pretty big difference, back 9 and front 9 yesterday in terms of difficulty. The back 9 much easier than the front 9, and it's a par 35 going out, par 37 coming in.
Yeah, 3 par 5s on the back 9, and of course, you know, everybody's mission is to birdie the par 5s.
Yin, iron in hand.
An iron in hand because she bombed it off the tee, Terry. She's just got 232 to the hole.
She's got something in her bag. I don't know if it's a weak 2 iron or a weak 1 iron, but it's a driving iron.
And this is way out to the right.
Seemed like her body got way ahead and her arms couldn't catch up.
All depend on the lie there for her third. You see that wind having an effect, but still very good scores here early on day 2 in double figures, 10 under leading it.
Nice tunes.
Are you getting any?
inside the hole for sure. It's not going to be that late. Play it firm.
Back at 6 for birdie in the lead. Oh, didn't get it there.
Well, she took a hole off from putting.
She's out of practice, is what you're saying?
That's right. She's got to warm up again.
Okay. So still sharing the lead at 10 under. Angel Yin. And that's who we see here at 14, ready for her third. How about the lie, Gail?
Well, the lie's not too bad, but the problem is it's firm green, rough to a firm green, downwind and downhill. And just no shot at having that stop.
Well, she actually struck it pretty well, didn't she?
Second shot here for Sunhyun Park.
127 yards to the hole. Breeze more in on the slight dogleg left. On the second shot was in from the left off the tee. 9-iron for Sunhyun. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, really good. Saw some of the damage there in the fairway from the really tough winter they had, and it rained quite considerably in the early part of the year, and then they had a freeze, and it lasted for a few months, and that ice just killed the golf course. To 10.
First hole of the day, this 10th for Caroline Inglis, the 24-year-old from Oregon. That's how you're supposed to start.
Yeah, not the way you think you're going to make 3 at 10, but it's a keeper.
One top 10 this year. That was in LA at Wilshire Country Club.
With that coming lower, it's not really going to affect it that much with the wind, so just the 3 yards. It's probably going to land pin high, 120 shot. Big one? Yeah, I got it.
.117 yards for Brooke's second shot. You learn some new vernacular up here in Canada, Tom. When the ball's short of the hole and the fans are rooting for you, they don't yell get up and go, they yell skate.
Well, that makes sense. Is that going to skate up a little bit?
Needed to skate, yep.
Yeah. So if you're a proud Canadian, you come to watch today. Are you obligated to watch Brooke? I mean, you're just not allowed to go and watch other players? Tough decision, tough decision.
Hypotheticals. Torres, yeah, right edge and in. Quickly to 14, wind blowing. Austin Ernst third.
Okay, good choice of clubs that got away from her just a little bit.
Yeah, she didn't choose to putt it. She chipped it.
Took some time. The preferred lies. We saw her trying to get away from some of that area and work to do. So golf taking place here in Canada, but also FedEx Cup playoffs underway. First event there as they all try to get to Atlanta. Northern Trust continues today, 1:30 Eastern time. Mickelson made a charge today up there at the top. Great start for Phil. Tiger playing a little bit later. He was early yesterday.
He's got to play good golf to put his dancing out of his head, I think.
Phil, not Tiger.
Yeah. Phil, yeah.
The man isn't short of courage.
Or money now.
Hasn't been for a while in that category.
I hope he got paid well for the dancing.
All right, this for the lead here.
Close to 30 feet. A little downhill, just uphill and then a little downhill.
She doesn't really shine as a as a scrambler. It's not the best part of her game, getting the ball up and down from everywhere.
This has got a lot of speed.
Whoa,
Hit it.
hang on. Man,
Oops.
took it back quite a bit. You thought, well, you worried, and it was.
You wondered if it got in her head that she was putting into the wind, and she gave it a wrap.
Norquist with a good effort there.
So we'll see if we can get a birdie here. Amy Yang has this.
And she was just off the front of the green, if you remember, and chose to putt it, but it bobbled on the way up and lost its speed.
Excuse me, folks. Guys, can you just hold still for a sec? Beautiful. Thank you.
Very nice caddy.
Yeah, Sean Clues. Nice Aussie accent there.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of movement to this putt.
There you go. How about this group, too? Those two sharing the lead. 3 in a row, 4 of 5, and 3 at 10 under.
Henderson for a birdie at the 13th.
A little bit uphill. Could wiggle 2 different ways, right early and left at the very end, but both very minimal.
Just a 4 for Brooke. Brooke's going to be heading to the PGA Tour Champions next week, believe it or not, to kick off the Shore Charity Classic on Monday, along with fellow Canadian Olympians and also Elena Sharp. So they're going to be playing in Canada next week, PGA Tour Champions. Of course, then heading on to Portland, where she's had great success. To 14.
Angel Yin to stay in a share of the lead.
It's really an important putt because what Angel tends to do is she plays lights out for a while, and then too often there's a little bit of a big number.
Yeah, that's just really giving one away.
Drove it 1,000,000 miles and is going to make 6 on the par 5.
Uh-huh.
SH Park for birdie.
Got a great read from Brooke.
Funny situation last week after she won at Indy. They went through the ceremony of kissing the bricks and then drinking the milk and pouring it. And I think she didn't quite understand the ceremony, obviously, because she'd never seen it. And then she couldn't quite believe the ceremony when somebody said, you need to get down and kiss these bricks. Kiss these bricks? And then you've got to pour milk over your head. What? You know.
If you're not familiar with it would seem a bit odd.
She had some interesting looks at people when they were telling her to do it. Let's go to 14.
Might be a bit hesitant too. Ernst, all of a sudden we're seeing a lot of missed putts. Take it at 9. See if we can get one to go in.
This is Laurie Kane, Canadian legend. Struggling a little bit in terms of the score, but great to see Laurie out here and competing on the LPGA Tour. How about this? 53 years of age.
She's playing some senior golf. She's playing on the Legends Tour. She played in the first USGA Senior Open, and not playing a whole lot of golf these days, though. She has a lot of other activities.
4-time winner on the LPGA Tour, Laurie Kane.
We welcome you back to our coverage here on Golf Channel of the LPGA Tour, event number 24 of 32 in all here in 2018. This one, the Canadian National Championship, the CP Women's Open. Scana Country Club here in Regina, and Brooke Henderson, the star. This at 10 to start her day, Judy, from just off.
Yeah, I had a long pitch and left it just short of the green. Cut it where I probably might have been afraid to, and right in the middle.
There are others, though, with great shots so far. Nasa Hataoka, terrific year on the LPGA Tour at 8 under at this point.
Nice straight shot right on line. Look out.
No putter needed. Hataoka to double figures. And sharing the lead here on day 2. We expect it to get more difficult as the day goes on because the wind has picked up, and it is a factor as we take you out to Brooke Henderson, ready to go on the tee at 14.
And the wind has picked up straight downwind on this hole. A good tee shot, and you never know. Well, we got the first part of the equation. Literally within a yard of the center of the fairway.
Look out on the crosswalk.
Yeah, they mow it one direction on one half, one direction on the other half, and so it's pretty easy to find the center.
Yep. Sinking Park.
For the season, averages 1 yard further than Brooke, but this isn't going to find the fairway. Boy, there's trouble over there.
That was a very odd swing.
Well, it was another one of those where a player kind of stops all their body motion trying to hang on. And invariably, they are trying to keep the ball from going left.
#1 player in the world, the Rolex rankings. Another look at this.
She's got a big, wide arc. Really turns her shoulders, braced on her right knee, and then she lets it go, but she doesn't really let her body go this time. She was hanging on. She knew that she had released it a little early or pulled it and was just trying to keep it from going left.
Amy Yang on the tee at the 15th.
This hole playing 137 by yardage. No, like 145 today with the, or right now with the wind. That was an 8-iron. That wind's coming a little from the left to right, so gave that a little push.
Yeah, good look at the wind right there. That flag is standing out.
Front 9, Nasa Hataoka. Missed the fairway here. Now there is a water hazard short of the green.
Get up there.
Come on, baby. Be just fine for Nasa. Hole out at the 5th.
All right, J. Marie Green, sorry, Tom, here at 12. This for eagle to jump to 7 under. A little tap-in birdie there, though. 24-year-old from Boca Raton. Looking for her first win in her 5th season out here on the LPGA. Three in a row. We talked about that hot start you want to get off to. Can't get any better than that. Well, I guess you can make eagle there, but can't ask for any more than that. But that's the part of the golf course where you can really do some damage.
Yeah, good strong start, and you need to, particularly if you're starting on that back 9, well, it doesn't matter whether you play it first or last. You need to play the back 9 well.
Yeah. Just checking the cut right now. It's at 2 under at the moment, but 80 players at 2 under or better. Expect that to go a little lower unless the wind really picks up this afternoon, which could happen.
Yeah, and a big field this week, 156 start.
Amy Yang is to take the lead.
This is a big swing from right to left, close to 3 feet from right to left down the hill.
That's what a green looks like when it gets to be really a mix-up of bent and poana. But you can see the ball rolls quite smoothly.
They had to resod 4 greens on the golf course because of that harsh winter they had. Yesterday evening we were talking to a gentleman at dinner, and he was saying in a bad winter here you wouldn't expect it to get much above freezing from October to April.
Harsh winter is a bit redundant in this.
Just winter.
But yeah.
For those of us who live in warm climes, it just fascinates me, really.
But it was reiterated to us this week that snow is not necessarily that hard on a golf course. Ice is really hard on a golf course.
And that's what they had earlier this year. Angel Yin now to bounce back, Gail.
And this will swing from her left to right. And Tom, I can vouch for the fact that they are harsh winters.
So harsh that she now has a place in
I was
Naples,
say,
Florida.
Darn straight.
Just leaking away. So much potential for Angel Yin, and she's fun to watch. Just needs to get rid of those mistakes like we saw on that par 5. Over to 7. Hataoka now for her first birdie of the day.
But Tom, you can really see the confidence that's built up in her since she played very, very well at Kingsmill, and then she won. She just has every reason to now be a confident player.
Wow, that caught a lot of the hole. They struggled last year in her rookie season. Went back to Japan, won a couple of times there, hit the reset button and came and qualified for the LPGA Tour. So she could get back out here in 2018, and it has been a remarkable season.
14, Jin Young Ko to get it to 6 under par. Almost the same putt that we just saw.
Austin Ernst for birdie.
She has not rolled the ball particularly well yet today. Or at least they have not dropped.
1 under for the round so far. She'll be looking forward to heading over to Portland, where she won her only LPGA title.
A little bit hotter. Your 4-iron on number 12 has pitched 1.
So left of this cart path here, Jerry, what about the lie and the chance to go for it?
No, I think they're all very good. The lie is clean. That she has barely free a swing from the tree behind her, and 233 to the hole, 227 to the front, downwind.
As the green is starting to clear, that's Lindsay come up there with a birdie to get it to 4 under.
Whenever you're ready. 10 cents done. Yeah, you're next.
And she is next to play.
Yeah, she's looking to see if she was further away than Brooke, but she can't see through the crowd of people. She is away.
Okay.
9
you go ahead.
yards, actually. 4-iron will be the club.
Okay. No, away. This side. You're okay there now.
It's a 4-iron that I watched her hit on the practice tee yesterday. She still hits it over the moon. Probably closer to a 3-iron loft. Good swing there. Just a little right of the hole. Needs to skate a little.
So no harm at all with that tee shot.
Beautiful. That's the great characteristic of people who are long off the tee. They also have a better ability to recover.
Plus, it's that whole theory, just hit it as far as you can, and we'll figure it out once we get there.
Well, that's exactly it. If you're strong enough to hit it a long way and then hit it in the rough, you're also strong enough to get it out.
Henderson now.
224 hole.
Well, I like that follow through. She swung to a finish and she held it.
Didn't get a very aggressive bounce, but a good shot.
It's kind of soft right there in front, Jerry.
They put some water on the course last night, I've noticed walking around today.
Yeah, there are certain areas that are quite wet. 10 under leading it. Henderson a chance from just off. Sunghoon Park on in 2.
Good one.
Wind blowing here on the tee at 16. Amy Yang.
And the breeze is really fresh now. Coming a little bit from the player's left and into us on this hole.
Boy, that looked good.
It looks beautiful, Judy, and one of the things I really love is that her tempo just never changes.
Yeah.
Wind making this the hardest hole on the golf course today. Meanwhile, the third at 14 for Anna Nordquist.
Couldn't get home in 2, laid it up to 97 yards. Straight down breeze, sand wedge.
Right at it and in. It looked pretty good on the way.
Well, I'm just amazed at all the really good shots we're seeing, and we're talking about wind where the flags are standing out pretty straight.
They're pretty good.
Can I say, I'm not supposed to say it, but since I am, I'm going to say it. These girls are good.
No violation of rules there, Jude. And a very true statement. So not able to get home in 2. The others going for it in 2, and one on and one nearly on, but the eagle from Anna Nordquist. So that sent a jolt through the gallery out here, mostly watching Brooke Henderson, and now with the putter from well off.
Yeah, I didn't see much choice here. Just, if you tried to bounce it through the fringe, you're at every bit as much risk as trying to putt it through the fringe, maybe even more, because it could stand it straight up. At least the momentum of a putt will carry the distance a little better if it does bobble through there.
Yeah, Amy Yang did this from a little bit different angle, and the ball, bounced so much that she left it a good 6-7 feet short of the hole.
Barely got on the green. Yeah.
This might be a better option because it gets it at least over the initial 18 inches or so of grass before it
But she got a
can start
hybrid?
bounces. Yeah. And this is a shot that I say it all the time. A lot of people do. It takes practice because the first time you do it at home, you hit it about 30 yards too far.
Well, she's going to do it with a chipping motion, not getting the shaft nearly as upright as a lot of people do.
You would play it like a putt.
Most people would, yeah.
You know what? Don't question her.
Good choice.
Really good. And Worth. A second look presented by Versant Health. How she played it.
Yeah, she played it just as if she had a 6 or 7 iron in her hand and going to hit a little bump and run. Held the club down by the shaft, which she does a lot anyway. Good shot.
Second look from Versant Health. And just a tap in birdie there at the par 5. Meanwhile, the tee at 8. Nasa Hataoka at 10 under. 176 today, this par 3.
Not nearly so long as it played yesterday. And an okay shot.
Fair to Midland. Okay, so we saw one eagle from the fairway. This time, Park with a putt to get it to 6 under.
A little more traditional style here. Pretty flat early, then it starts going slightly uphill about halfway there to the hole. Kind of on the slower side, although the greens at this time of day, they might not look great on TV. A little bit of patchwork involved, but they roll very, very nicely.
Jerry, we got a note from the LPGA and the grounds crew, which said that they slowed the greens down a little bit this morning when they prepared them, about 6 inches shorter in the rollout. So the average speed would be more like 11 and not 11.5 on the stimp meter. They are anticipating a lot of wind this afternoon.
Yeah, and I think they were a little sneaky fast yesterday that they didn't expect because they put so much work into trying to make them all the same because some of them have been resodded. There were different speeds on different greens, and that was tough to achieve.
All set up by the tee shot. I mean, one of the worst swings you're ever going to see her make. Well left of the cart path, makes eagle. Meanwhile, at 16, tough hole. Amy Yang second.
It is playing tough. 155 here. She's got 6 iron. And that came out low. Like she tried to knock it down a little bit.
Boy, she's got her hands full now because it is thick rough right there.
Birdie putt, Henderson.
And if it were a playoff, she would have been eliminated. Good group.
Yeah, exactly. With the birdie. Worst of the 3 on that hole. But picks up another one as they chase 10 under par here on day 2 of the CP Women's Open.
15th hole.
Good shot there out of Anna Norquist, straight into an increasing breeze. So maybe those winds the forecaster said would be coming are getting here.
Take you up one and a difficult third for Yang.
Yeah, this ball is sitting way down. She needs to make sure that the club keeps accelerating through the hole, or through the ball. The one-handed finish. Try to be a little soft with the hands.
It's a nice play.
Hataoka over at 8, other side of the golf course to get it to 11 under, lead by herself.
Yeah, the kind you're trying to roll close, and if it should drop, thank you.
Seen her come up short a few times. Talked about the greens being a little slower because of the wind in the afternoon. 15 again.
Sunny Park.
And just like Anna Norquist before her, only 137 yards and going with a 7-iron, which seems like a lot of club. Just hitting a long chip shot with it, basically. At it. Right at it.
Yeah. Good shot with that breeze.
I think, because I mean, it is a good 10-yard wind there. So what'd you say for the 742 shot? Yeah. That'd be fine. Because I think you're right. I think this just gets the middle. If you want it to get closer. I mean, I think 142 shots fine, don't you? Yeah. No, I think it's perfect. Yeah. And I wouldn't. You don't need to chase the pin. It didn't really affect theirs direction-wise. So just go towards. Definitely right at the tower. There's like a guy sitting down in a red shirt, like right there, 2 flags right of it.
Aiming at the guy in the red shirt's a little difficult today.
Yes, today was the day that spectators and folks attending the event were encouraged to wear red.
Let's do a 7-iron. Brooke, much like SH Park, very long off the tee, but not long with the irons. Their games are quite similar in that regard. Looks pretty nice too, just right.
Yeah. Brooke and Brittany getting the calculations correct.
As she did last year for much of that third round in Ottawa. Again, we talked about it. Let's show you some images. Made the cut on the number, and then this a part of a course record 63. And look at the people out there, Junie.
Get back there. I mean, we were in awe last year in Ottawa with the crowds and the excitement of the crowds.
Yeah, I mean, just before the round, trying to get anywhere near the range where she was, you couldn't get there. 10-12 deep, all the way around. Started Sunday 3 shots off the lead. This was the reception.
We were within 30 miles of her home.
Yeah. Yeah, around the opening tee, look at that. But wasn't to be. Shot even par 71 in that final round. Sung Hyun Park, who she's playing with today, birdie at 16 to get it to 12 under. Took the lead, was up by 1, and then the birdie at 18 and a 64. So winner of the U.S. Women's Open and the Canadian National Championship 2017. Came back from 4 down on the final day to win by 2. And won the KPMG Women's PGA this year, so another major championship. All right, saw the play to here. This for par for Yang at 16.
And she watched Austin's birdie attempt come up short. Has a little bit of right to left movement.
Ooh, went back the other way.
Yeah, she hit it so firmly.
So Park, the winner last year in Ottawa. Calgary area for Jutanagarn. And Lydia Ko, the 3-time champ, twice in Vancouver.
Yeah, she says she comes up here and she feels like she's come home.
I bet. A couple of wins as an amateur, too. She's 15 years old, so we got the youngest champion ever on the LPGA Tour, and Lydia Ko. Beth Daniel, the oldest, in 2003, the winner here. this event.
46 years and something, not actually old, but the oldest.
Quote unquote oldest, yes.
Yeah.
Bogey now.
And Angel Yin also missed her par putt. 2 conversions for bogey there.
Again, tough hole. You see a lot of bogeys at 16.
Nordquist making the birdie at 15. 3-3 for the Swede over the last couple of holes.
The lady holding the Standard Bearer signs getting 10 tonight is changing numbers so fast out here, Tom.
I should say 3-2. Yeah, a lot of good scores in this group, and she's going to move to 7 under par. Now, who's next to go? Park?
I believe it is to go, what, 5 under through 6 if she makes this. Brooke Henderson watched a little bit of yesterday morning's coverage before she came out, and she couldn't believe the starts people were getting off to on this back 9, and this group is duplicating it very quickly.
She also said that she learned a little bit from watching the coverage earlier.
Mostly from the commentary.
Well, yeah. Incredible analysis that was given, especially on the golf course, Jerry.
This one uphill for Sung Hyun, turning just ever so slightly left.
Two to start, and then 3-2 at 14 and 15.
Torres, this for birdie. Holing out, making birdie putts. Every time we go to a hole that she is on, she's making something.
Yeah, her story out of Puerto Rico is really a heartwarming story, and really happy to see her play well.
There's a little trail on the other side of the fence there, folks passing just at the right time.
Yeah, people walking dogs, getting a little exercise, riding bikes, and stopping to see the one that everybody's talking about, Brooke Henderson. Watching the national news here in Canada this morning, the lower ticker, as we call it, was almost entirely a Brooke Henderson ticker update. It's amazing. Amazing how much support and how many fans are watching her every step when she plays in Canada.
She's only going to get better, and so people want to say 10 years from now, I saw her play in person.
It's outside the hole on the right here.
Yeah. Her posters are everywhere, including on the buses here in Regina. Henderson tied for the lead on home soil.
I mean, it plays here. Again, tough hole, 16. Sunghyun Park at 7 under.
Like Gail mentioned, plays a little bit uphill, even though there's a little terrain. Breeze in from the left. Really good swing there.
The right half of the fairway is the perfect place to be. It gets a little tight if you get it on the left side.
And now Brooke Henderson. We'll check out our top tracer technology, see the ball flight.
Well, I certainly don't want to jinx her, but she has not missed the center of the fairway yet. I mean, literally not missed it with the driver. That streak's still handy.
Yeah, she swung all the way through to the finish. She's swinging where she gets her body facing the target. And there's not a lot of hang on in that kind of swing.
So it's a 10 under par. Brooke Henderson sharing the lead with Nasahata Oka. I want to tell you, important work being done here. Over the past 4 years, CP has helped raise over $6.5 million for pediatric cardiology research, equipment, and care through their CP Has Heart program. And here's the story of Alexa, a past CP Women's Open Child Ambassador, and a look at how the CP Has Heart program is making a difference for families and little hearts across North America.
Before Alexa was born, her parents received devastating news.
She was essentially born with half a functioning heart. She's an example of kind of the most extreme form of heart disease. And again, those children who didn't survive a few decades ago, but now you see where she's at today. This was the largest donation that, the cardiology section here at the hospital has ever received. In the clinic, it's allowed us to purchase new equipment, to expand our space and improve our communication tools, to upgrade our MRI imaging, to purchase a new instrument that is the first of its kind for children in North America.
I'd really like to thank CP for everything that they've done.
Thank you, CP, for helping little hearts like mine.
And you can help. To find out how, please visit cphasheart.ca. Continue, take you out to 17 now.
Well, here's a chance for another $5,000 to be raised for the Jim Patterson Children's Hospital, part of that program. And we'll be keeping an eye on the amount throughout the week. $165,000 after day one on the board. Further down the hole, Amy Yang. A little tree trouble here for the second shot, Gail.
Well, the tree in front of her is not the issue. It's the tree, the branches that will maybe catch her swing. She's got a great angle to the flag, actually. Pretty clear shot, but a little tree trouble in the backswing.
And you think she can get home?
She's got an iron in her hand. Now she's got 239 to the front of the hole, so she's just playing for position here.
She did clip it.
Good out.
And it just came out really low. And where is it? Just back there in the fairway, I believe. No problems there, Gail?
Just in the first cut of the rough.
At the 9th. This is Nas's third.
Down.
It's going to be a quick putt back down that green. Caddy knew it right away. 15th, Maria Torres. Mentioned her battle just to make it to the LPGA Tour. She was in Puerto Rico during Hurricane Maria, remained there for 10 days after the storm. And it wasn't possible, obviously, to practice and prepare for the Q School down there. Managed to get to Gainesville and made it through the Q School in a playoff.
And what they're still dealing with in Puerto Rico, just awfully difficult. Reminder, enter Golf Advisor's Stream Song Resort Sweepstakes, your chance to play Stream Song Red, Blue, and Black with luxury resort accommodations. Enter now at golfadvisor.com/the tour package.
Perfect. And remember, it's still soft, especially into the wind. It's not like soft.
Yeah.
It's a good committed swing.
Nordquist now.
Anna with 162 yards. Even though this hole is sheltered by trees on both sides, you can really hear the wind whipping through them. She's going with 5-iron. Anna at 9th. Judy, in greens in regulation this year, which is a stat that 150 other players would do anything for, but about the lowest of the last 7 or 8 years for her, still searching for that first win. Such a dependable and accurate ball striker. Good quality shot here, so 20 feet right of the hole.
Yeah, I know, Jerry. Sometimes the swing seems, or at least the shot result is better than some other times, but you never see her golf swing look any different. It's just all a matter then of, you know, perfect timing.
30-32 would be good.
That's where Amy Yang's ball finished up. Third shot now.
And a pretty decent lie. A few inches to the left and it would have been much more trouble. Difficulty here is with the wind coming hard left to right. She can't really feel it where she is. It will definitely push it as it reaches its peak. She's got a good line.
Oh yeah, might get away with a birdie.
Lovely.
Talked to Amy on Wednesday and she said, yeah, I like playing in the wind. I like the challenge. Looking forward to that as the week goes on, and that will be the case today. You got to embrace it, Terry.
Park at 16 now.
146 hole, going with the same club she had on the previous hole, playing in the same direction, which was 9 yards shorter. This is 7-iron, so maybe going to give it just a little extra. Problem is when you do that, a lot of times it just imparts more spin and ends up going shorter. This is at the right front edge.
But you could see from behind Sung Hyun that the right side of the fairway is the place to be. It opens the green up a little bit.
Nasa for that birdie at the 9th. Pretty good pace there coming back down the hill. There's been a little bit of inconsistency in some of the greens in terms of the pace, so players really concentrating on that.
Good look at Brooke Henderson now, her second.
Brooke going with 7-iron from 144 to the hole. And like Judy mentioned, great angle. Uncomfortable wind though, in from the left.
Get the hole!
This is left. I think she won't be displeased with where that ended up because it looked like it was headed for the bunker the whole way.
Yeah, better once she gets up there, takes a look. 10 under on top along with Hataoka.
Back at the 17th, Austin Ernst just short of the green.
And that is, excuse me. That was her third shot, or excuse me, her fourth shot, as she chunked the previous one. We'll have just that little one to tap in for par.
Gail, I think you got immersed in someone else's golf for a moment.
Well, I wasn't sure what shot we were covering there.
That's all right.
16 here. Lengthy one, Nordquist.
Lengthy one, slightly downhill, a little bit down breeze as well. Should move from the right, just trying to dial in the speed. That's got to take a seat.
And it's going the wrong direction. We saw a missed putt from on the same line from Amy Yang that looked like it would go left and did not.
Angel Yin for birdie at 17.
And she's had some fun getting to this point, but after her second shot, not sure she would have had a birdie putt, but made a very nice pitch from a long rough to this position.
Good putt. Good opportunity, and she just burned the edge.
It's a pretty nice gallery. Mostly in red, Jude. They listened. National colors here. But first, before Henderson at Sunghyun Park.
Sunghyun with one on the slow side here. It's a rather large jet that's departing Regina International Airport. This one uphill. Turning a little left. Good effort, but some work remaining.
Ooh, a lot of work. Tough judging the speed so far on this green.
Amy Yang now for birdie.
Fairly straight putt, just very slightly uphill. Beautiful.
Wow. What would you give that birdie out of 10, Judy? Maybe an 8?
Well, yeah, I mean, that is the way to embrace trouble.
16 now, and Brooke Henderson going to walk all the way down. Take a look at this.
A bit of a speedy one here. Ball came to rest just on that, barely on that top small tier, so it comes down that tier. As it descends, it'll move left, but it's pretty quick and straight downwind from this angle.
That view right there just takes me back to what you said. None of these trees existed before this golf course did.
Yeah, it's a landscape much like where I live in West Texas.
Oh, yeah. And the wind will whip there, too.
It's been known to. Well, she just touched it, and it picked up speed when it caught that little tear in the green. I tell you, I like Brooke Henderson when the wind is blowing. She has history of playing well in the wind. She won this year in Hawaii. She won last year in New Zealand when they had ferocious winds. So whatever the weather wants to serve up, I think she can handle it.
To 18 to Dapasawanapora from the fairway, her second. Started the day at 4 under, 6 under now.
Not anymore. How many of those are we going to see today?
Well, we know we're going to see 3 because we've seen 3. Amazing.
Birdie eagle to finish this 9. First page of the leaderboard just like that, 2 back. Wow. All right, Sunghyun Park now to save.
A bit of a slippery one here too, turning a little bit right. Ooh, never turned.
You know, I'm looking at her numbers, Judy. It's pretty odd because she's won 3 times, #1 player in the world. Nothing jumps out. Her stats.
No, you know, the thing that jumps out is she wins.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a particular part of her game that is a whole lot stronger than a bunch of other people. In fact, a lot of it looks very average.
Sure does. Not the final result, though. Hataoka on the tee here at 10. Yeah, carries it around that edge. Hang on now.
Settle. That's okay.
Okay. Again, it's a short par 4, just over 330. Meanwhile, Amy Yang coming off a very impressive hole.
Pretty nice birdie back there on 17. The wind here on this one is hard left to right. And this fairway slopes left to right from the center.
It's just fine.
It's the way the fairway works, but the direction of it is dead straight. 16 in this to save par for Nordquist.
And the wind really starting to pick up even more now, and it's so disconcerting to a player when it's blowing that hard across the line left to right for a right-hander. It's just uncomfortable. Good stroke.
Yeah, you have to figure out just how much you're going to factor that in with a straight putt or with a breaking putt.
Keep a good round going. Great round going, really, with the eagle and the birdies. 10 under and a trio at the top right now. Day 2. Back at 16, see if Brooke Henderson can save par. Ouch. And the groan from the gallery. Just tried to be aggressive and firm it. You go back to that previous putt, the birdie putt, she barely touched it going downhill and about 3-4 feet. So this for bogey.
1-3 putt in her round of 66 yesterday. You sure love it when you play golf without 3 putts. guess it feels a bit like one you can never get back.
Yeah, and the first stroke was pretty good on that birdie putt too. So anyway, we jump up to 18, and Yang just off the fairway.
And a perfect lie just off the fairway. 87 yards to the hole. There's a little bit of a false front on the edge of this green. She needs to carry it. It's 6 yards onto the green to have it land on the flat. She's got the distance for it.
Well done.
Well, she played well last week, and she just looks just really primed to play great golf.
Henderson on the tee at 17.
First bad one of the day. This one's left.
Not too bad inside the ropes. Those folks there picked the right place to stand, didn't they? Up to 18.
Ernst ready from the fairway.
67 yards. And I think these are going to be difficult shots with this much wind.
Yeah, you can tell whether she was in between clubs, just controlled swing, carried it a bit far, but okay. Yeah. Anna Kurtz-Madsen, this at 14 for birdie. 7 under, so just 3 off the lead. We got 78 players now at 2 under or better in terms of the cut line. About an hour ago, that was 82 players.
Sometimes, and with conditions like are developing today, we look for the cut to go up 1 stroke.
23-year-old from Denmark, good putt there. Back-to-back birdies and 2 off the lead. You like starting on the back 9 here with opportunity, or it adds pressure to get off to a great start?
I guess I'd like to play the tougher 9 second. So I like going off the back 9. You know, you're pretty warmed up, and if you're ever going to get it right, you don't have any excuses.
Speaking of playing the second 9 second, Hataoka not well judged.
Coming out of just that little bit of rough.
However, it is that short par 4, so remember she drove it just in front of that bunker. Downtown Regina, about 10 minutes from here. Prairie landscape all across this part of Saskatchewan.
Eso es.
Back on our Golf Channel coverage here in Canada, the LPGA Tour. National Championship up here, great history dating back to the early 70s, and CP a part of it since 2001. The CP Women's Open. Large galleries for Brooke Henderson, one of their own, one of the top players in the world. 18, and Amy Yang coming back down a little bit for birdie.
And she just watched Austin Ernst slide that putt just to the right of the hole. Austin did make 5 on 17 and a par on 18. Beautiful.
It was a beautiful look from behind, too.
Another red putter. That's the magic wand today.
I guess so. I'll be wearing green tomorrow for the Rough Riders, so you switch to a green putter tomorrow? There aren't many of those around, I don't think.
Maybe a little paint.
Yeah. Saw that play from just on the other side of the bunker to here. It got away from her a bit, but Hataoka for birdie. Reach, and it does.
Does that mean it skated?
It did. It skated just the right amount.
Good 3.
So all pars except for that eagle back at 5, and now a birdie after making the turn. High 5 and a smile from caddy. Angel Yin for birdie. Beautiful shot in here.
Fantastic shot. Just a little bit of a slide from left to right. A little over 4 feet. And early in the round, she was keeping that putter nice and low to the ground. It's been coming up a little bit over the last few holes. That one stayed low.
Back to the early form. Look at the start she had. No smile right now, though. 2 off the lead. Yang and Hataoka. Torres to get it to 8 under. Okay, working her way toward the top 72. You saw that number 95 in red in the CME Globe. Just a few events left, trying to make it to Naples. So Yang, Hataoka on top, and then Henderson coming off that bogey. A 3-putt at the last. Mariah Stackhouse. Wanapora with the hole out. Seen 3 of those so far today from the fairway. Jessica Korda, we watched yesterday, played so well, and 3:32 Eastern Time. Lydia Ko as well, Tom.
See Jin Young Ko there at the bottom, a couple under for the day, just waiting on the 18th. She's had an impressive LPGA season in her first year on tour. We can learn more about her in this week's Rookie Spotlight.
Hi, I'm Jin Young Ko, and I'm rookie this year on the LPGA. I look up to Jia Shin and Seri Park. I was sitting on their knees when I was 5 years old. I watched Seri Park winning US Women's Open, and that was how I got to know about golf.
Before joining the LPGA Tour this year, Ko was a standout on the KLPGA, where she won 10 times. In 2017, as a non-LPGA member, she would earn her first LPGA victory in front of a home crowd.
My first win was in Korea, Hana Bank Championship. I was really excited. I tried simple thinking, and then I'm just tried to win this tournament. I was really excited.
Korean golf has another star.
Ko made a fast start to 2018, winning her first event of the season. She says she has already met some of her goals, but she still has high ambitions for the rest of her rookie year.
My goal is 3 things. First one is win in LPGA Tour, and then interview in English, and last third one is Rex Rookie of the Year. I'm lucky. I did 2 things.
Our rookie spotlight, and let's take a look at the Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year. Goal number 3 for Jin Young Ko, and she is leading at the moment by 383 points. Georgia Hall, 300 points for that win at the Ricoh Women's British Open. The Evian Championship could prove pivotal for that race, Terry.
Now her second at 18 from the rough. She was talking about sitting on her dad's knee watching Seri Pak win, and there's a whole generation of young girls who did just that, were influenced, and now have come to be such a big part of women's golf globally.
And the instruction in Korea for children starting out the game must really be excellent.
Now Brooke Henderson, who's had pretty good instruction over here.
And likely will have a similar impact on a smaller scale to women's golf in Canada that Seri Pak had. This from 91 yards after a very good layup shot out of the left rough.
Oh, big mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, big bad bounce too.
Maybe a little too greedy.
Always grips way down on the club. I think she thought she hit a pretty good shot.
The tee at the 11th. This hole is becoming a beast. Been watching the last hour or so, and players have really struggled to find the green. And there's another example. That wind just whipping across, the hazard in play. Seen players way left and way right. Let's go back to the 17th and Park's third.
90 yards and aiming a fair bit left after watching Brooks ball get eaten up by that left to right breeze. Beauty.
Yeah.
After listening to Jin Young Ko, I would tell you that Sun Hyun Park is speaking reasonably good English. We had a nice visit the other day. I said, you need to just trust your English and go ahead and use it. But she is very embarrassed to speak into the microphone.
She'd say about your Korean?
Huh?
Hi. Back at the 17th with Brooke Henderson.
Slight uphill lie. playing into the breeze, green slopes toward her. Pretty basic bunker shot, all things considered.
Had a little look at going in, but she's going to make that putt for par, having just missed a short one. We'll go up to the 18th.
So the approach from the right rough, Jin Young Ko to get it to 6 under. So 6 off the lead still.
Park for birdie at 17.
Looking outside the hole on the left.
Bang in the middle. Started the day in danger of missing the cut at 2 under par, right on the cut line, but that story has changed over the first 8 holes. Tough hole on the first. Austin Ernst second.
It's from 169 yards. That's 6 iron. Bringing it in nice and low, directly into this wind.
Yeah, good shot there. There's her brother, Drew, on the bag. He's made a good team. Oh, that is the golf ball of Nasa Hataoka. Paying the penalty here. She's got to be careful to not leave this one in a really difficult spot coming back the other way.
Well, there's a technique that works where you leave the club in the sand, but I think she had to carry the ball too far to use that technique.
And it's going to go off the green the other side, but, well.
Yes, stays right there. That's not too bad. Because she had to carry the ball so far, she couldn't use the technique that allows the buried shot to not come out running so hard. So as a result, maybe all she could do.
Plenty of people around this green watching Brooke Henderson for par.
She has to be a little defensive here. She likes to hit these with a lot of conviction. Oh, great putt.
104th in sand saves this season on the LPGA Tour, but that'll help. Good save. 9 under, a couple behind, although one of those players at the top of the leaderboard is struggling for her par at the 11th. Stay here for Nordquist.
And with a really nice pitching wedge in from 126 yards. Just had it dancing left of the hole. Still a putt that is just slightly downhill.
She's got quite a good round going. She's on the 17th hole, which is her 8th hole of the day, and she is 5 under par.
Yeah, she's quietly. She's 20 yards behind the other 2 players and not getting to the par 5s and 2. Well, nobody got to this one, but doing what she does. Fairways, greens, and putts.
Been a really inconsistent season, really. In the last 6 events, she's gone 4th, 9th, miscut, 3rd, 73rd, miscut.
It's a bit of a roller coaster ride.
That'll do. Had a few weeks off coming into this week. Recharge the batteries. Now, Nasa Hataoka. You would have noticed the ball was closer to the rough when she finished that second shot, but of course they're playing preferred lie, so she can move the ball on the closely mown area of her hole that she's playing and have a better look at it there, but still got work to do for a bogey.
All right, got a moment. We'll check out our players who have earned the most top 10 finishes. Our Leaders Cosmetics top 10s leaderboard. Nasa Hataoka in the top 5, got 7 of them, along with Moria Jutanagarn, who got her first win earlier this season in LA, and her sister Aria leading the way with 13 of them. Brooke Henderson there too, and Leaders Cosmetics top 10s leaderboard.
Top 10s are one of the ways players measure themselves. There's a real line right there if you can finish in the top 10.
Yang for birdie, this to get to 12 under.
And she can be fairly aggressive with this. It's uphill, left to right sliding. She said just amazing speed control.
That looked good, didn't it?
Just hung out there.
She's going to remain at 11 under, but she will have the lead on her own very shortly, officially.
Gather around the tee at 18. Jerry Foltz down there somewhere watching Sunghyun Park now.
Somewhere. Uncomfortable win for a right-handed player. Blowing straight across the fairway from the left.
Pretty well framed, I'd say.
Yeah. Framed on both sides with trees, grandstands up by the green, and spectators almost lining the fairway. They will be by the back nine, I'm sure.
A little slope in the fairway from left to right, but that's in the first cut. She won't be able to place the ball, but it looks fine. Brooke has a very long swing. It looks even longer because she has a very long golf club.
The little draw that she tends to favor would be ideal. Only missed one tee shot the previous hole. All the rest have been spot on.
Should be fine.
Yeah, I don't know about fine.
Kick down.
You got the kick to be okay. She didn't even watch it.
I didn't think it was that far to the right, but apparently it was.
She might have hit it farther than she thought. Carried it all the way down there by the, right off that column right there. So we'll see about the lie and get it from Jerry when she gets up to the golf ball. A little wayward off the tee as of late.
Jerry said it, the left to right wind off the tee for a player like Brooke is tough.
Yeah.
Ernst for birdie. Oh no. Nasa for bogey at 11. Just to drop the one shot. Good putt. The tee shot really was the killer there on the 11th hole. Oh, Amy Yang really enjoying Regina, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I mean, like you said, we picked up before on pitch 159.
Maple Leafs up there, showing you that left to right wind here at 18 for Nordquist second.
95 yards for Anna. A little bit of a side hill lie. As Judy mentioned, this fairway does slope slightly left to right. The wind blowing that way, it makes it a much tighter fairway to hit. Little false front that you have to be careful not to try and force one too close. Good shot there.
You know, if you play the game, you'll know that a left to right wind is awkward. If you don't play the game, I can just tell you that when the wind is blowing right on your back, not downwind, but on your back, players don't make their best swings.
First couple is uphill. You can pitch this around the 70 mark.
.85 yards for Sunghyun Park, going with her lob wedge. It'll be a pretty full swing with some acceleration through impact to try and maximize the spin out of this first cut of rough. Miles in the air, needs to go a little.
Okay. On your back as you address the ball, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yes, over your shoulders.
I think like 58, 60 shot even, I think is fine. At the C. Yeah. Sorry, what? C. Okay, yeah. There, maybe a little left there, because it breaks left to right a little bit.
Lie looks better from this side.
Oh, it's fine. It's very wispy little dried out patch of rough here. 67 yards.
Really could be a very good finishing hole come Sunday, because with such a short club in your hand,
especially because we're
going to be a lot of birdies.
If Brooks in the last group on Sunday, Judy, people will be climbing the trees to get a glimpse of it.
So true.
Wind just pushed that one. Probably pushed it 10 yards right.
The keeper, though, good from the rough.
Go on. Squeaky grandstand, Jerry. That noise continues. And we tell you, you can become a Golf Now VIP member today. You can snag tee times without any booking fees, plus earn more rewards faster. Visit golfnow.com/VIP to learn more. Up to 17, Tom.
Maria Torres to get to 9 under par. Yeah, what a week it is so far for Maria Torres. Missed 9 of 10 cuts earlier in the season. Had that 7th place finish at the Thornbury Creek LPGA Classic. And if she were to finish inside the top 35 here, I think that would be enough to keep her card for next year. We can hear those grandstands squeaking in the background. Well, the reason being the wind is starting to pick up. According to the forecasts, it is supposed to max out this afternoon at about 20 miles an hour. But that's not gusts, that's the wind speed, so we could get gusts obviously higher than that.
Yeah, it's all relative, and it's a golf tournament, and this happens, but late early would be an advantage. You go early, late, you go out there this afternoon in 20-mile-per-hour winds consistently, golf course is going to change dramatically.
Check in with the former world #1, Shen Feng, at the first.
Hardest hole on the golf course yesterday.
She was playing well in April. Had 2 third-place finishes that month. Since then, nothing really to get too excited about.
Won't be able to hear the squeak if this goes in.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Crowd will be too loud.
Yeah, it's got to be turning a little left. Starting to get blustery. A lot of dust blowing in the air now.
So she started the day at 6 under. And is going to end up the opening 9 holes here at 9 under par. One 3 putt and one maybe taking too much of a chance, but she got up and down on the last, but had an opportunity. A pretty good opening 9 holes for Brooke Henderson. Second at 2 for Yang.
And in a precarious position, pretty decent lie. That was from 171.
All she could do with that, that's pretty good.
I think the hazard lines and all that get a lot more attention, and they're a lot more in your vision with the wind blowing.
Yeah, yes. The marsh and the little bit of water that is on this golf course, the ponds coming into play. Park now for birdie.
A little bit uphill. Wind blowing across the line. See if she can make another one.
Yes, she can.
Good 9.
Good close to the 9. So par 37. She goes out in 31. Ho hum.
31 works anywhere.
3 back. What are the front 9, second hole? Angel Yin now, and you can see the wind and the effect.
Yeah, 134 to the hole. Good 1 club win right now. And that wind took it off to the left-hand side for sure.
Well, fortunately, it was long enough to not be a dreadful leave.
18, Nordquist for birdie.
And this for an opening 930, Terry.
Man,
it's just been incredible golf, this 9 holes from all 3 players.
30 it is. I mean, that's ridiculous. Remember, the par on this back 9 is 37. 7 under.
Bogey free, I guess you would expect that when you shoot 30.
Yeah, I guess. 2 back to 9.
All right, Stackhouse is having a good week so far, but this for par at the 9th, and that's going to be her first bogey. She's going to drop back to 8 under.
She saw something there that absolutely was not there.
That was a moment ago. She would tap that in for the bogey, so Stackhouse tied 7th. Amy Yang with a 1-shot lead. Brooke Henderson, though, lurking 2 behind here at the CP Women's Open.
Right now we need to go low.
Low?
Right?
Just wait.
Huh? We'll go just a low shot.
Okay. Just call it a right.
Set.
Amy Yang from the edge here at 2 for birdie.
And she did well to get it here into from that lie. Well, it started off on a good line.
Hurry hard.
It needs to hurry.
Oh, I just picked up a Canadian golf term and I used it right out of the gate, Judy.
That gives you 1 free round of golf in Canada.
Thank you on Twitter, sending that along. So to 12 under par goes Amy Yang, up by 2. Torres at 18 from the fairway. Another sensational opening 9 holes. 5 under on this 9 and not done yet. Back to 2. Yin with the putter here. Just
a little bit of fringe.
Yeah, she was fortunate just to be here, I think, on that approach. Gail.
Well, yeah, that she got it high up in the air and the wind took it. This is a great lag.
Out of the gate well, but this round kind of stalled for Angel Yin. No problem there, though. 2-0 at 14 for Eagle at the par 5. Yep. 22-year-old from South Korea originally, but Australian. So a birdie and an eagle so far in this back 9.
She's spending a little time in Dallas, has an apartment in Dallas, Texas.
Ernst for birdie, taking a look here. She's had some problems with the putter.
And she's given herself lots of opportunities, Terry. It just really hasn't converted on them. The last hole, just a 4-footer. Probably would have made birdie on 17 if the long low chip had been her third shot as opposed to, or her third shot as opposed to her 4th shot. Excuse me.
You know, you play that back 9 and all the opportunities that are there and the par 5s and everything, then you make that turn and it's almost like you're awakened quickly to how difficult certain holes on this golf course can be.
Yeah, this is not an easy driving hole. Water all the way down the left. And it's playing a little longer today too, so if you give yourself opportunities on the front, it's a good thing. Sometimes you have those days where it's just a whisker away.
Then you fight that temptation, Judy, to try to do too much, to be too good on that approach because you're not making anything.
I think the putter is an amazing weapon, an amazing part of the game, because I've said it before, the putter can make you when you're good and it can save you when you're bad.
All right, having made the turn, Anna Nordquist and that trio of players playing so well. We'll see who's up to the challenge presented by Prudential. It is Anna Nordquist and that 9-hole run that really had a jolt here at 14. Didn't reach in 2, had to lay up. It's okay.
Crowd loved it. So did Anna. We don't see a big grin on her face a lot while she's on the golf course.
Never left the hole. 15. Not really expecting a birdie here, but again, never left the hole. And at par 3, affected by the wind today, and then at 18, the approach, another chance.
That rolled like glass.
Going out in 30. And that 9, par 37. So what an opening 9 holes. And a Nordquist up to the challenge presented by Prudential. And now, having gone across the clubhouse area to the other 9, starting the front 9 here, Tom.
And what an incredible 9 it could be, an 18-hole score if she keeps it going, Jerry.
Yeah, it could be. We're not going to say that number yet, though. This is the tough side here. 6 iron for Anna. Breeze really picking up from the right and in, and boy, it killed that one.
You know, I think one of the things that is happening here is players really respond to great crowds. And she's playing in front of a great crowd that probably has come to see Brooke Henderson, but is getting an eyeful with good golf.
And Norquist 10 of 10 greens. I think that one is on the front of the putting surface. Park with a difficult lie here, Jerry?
Brutally difficult. Downhill, side hill lie, and some of the thickest rough I have seen from a player to hit. This is just awkward. 159 yards. It's just a gouge and run and hope. Oh, tremendous contact. It's going left, though.
Not too bad considering the situation that Jerry described.
Here at 12, par 5. Nasa Hataoka reaches in 2, goes through, so this her third.
Yeah, that's very tricky because the that part of the green falls off to the right, and so she was chipping right up into a slope.
Brooke Henderson in prime position of the tee. Second shot.
Yeah, better angle, hitting more into the breeze than across. 152 yards to the hole.
Yeah.
Starts it off a little right, begging for the wind to bring it back, and it's not much.
Okay, though, on a very difficult hole. A couple of holes ahead. Amy Yang on the tee at the par 3 third.
Well, the yardage says 151 today. Wind's coming very hard from about 2 o'clock. Going to push this ball hard to the left. Amy's got 7 iron. And she started it out to the right.
Wow.
Hook.
She is on song. That is to go 7 under par for the round, and she's playing the tougher 9.
Maria Torres, what an opening 9 here, the back 9. To get it to 10 under.
Beautiful. Her best rounds of the year, 2 66s. She missed a whole bunch of cuts and a whole bunch in a row. But she caught a little fire in early July, and now she's racked up $88,000. That's a start.
Working at the car wash, yeah.
Back with Sun Hyun Park. This at the first. Third shot.
Good lag, green slopes slightly toward her. Not a tough shot.
Lundqvist has a putt for another birdie.
Little longer range uphill till right there. Oh, it's on a great line.
Oh, it was right in the middle. What did it need to do with if you're using a Canadian golf term?
Hurry hard.
That's it?
Yeah.
Escape.
Hataoka for birdie at 12. Yep, there you go.
She looks good with the putter to me. She's another one who has the ability to stay very still without looking tense.
And she played the more difficult of the 2 9s first and is 3 under on the day, so it could be a big day. Bernhard Langer in Golf's Legends going head-to-head in Washington as the Charles Schwab Cup race continues. The Boeing Classic coming your way tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern Time here on Golf Channel. If you have the time. Back out to 1.
Brooke Henderson.
Sizable upper tier where this ball came to rest. Slightly uphill for about 4 feet. Then it hits the crest and it is gently downhill all the way to the hole. This one's going to take a while to get there.
Geez, Jerry, you know it's not often that you're 3 under par through 9 holes and you're just getting beat up by your fellow competitors.
Oh yeah, she'd lost both Nassau Bretts on the front and 1 press.
Very nicely done. No, not quite. Remember, with this event last year, she was tied for 59th heading into the weekend, out of contention. Then shot 63 on Saturday. There was just so much energy on the property at the Ottawa Hunt Club last year. And 71 on Sunday. And finished tied 12th. But that 63 on Saturday was magic. She'd like another one this year. Now Yin for birdie at 3.
From above the hole, downhill. A bit of a swing from left to right, and also could get a wind aid on that.
Has a pretty long run up the wind here. There's nothing to stop it for miles.
All the way to Winnipeg.
How far is that, Gail?
It's a good 5-hour drive, Tom.
Okay.
With Moose Jaw along the way. You haven't heard of Moose Jaw?
I have, because it's on the sign.
Yes.
When I come into the club.
There's a player from Moose Jaw who told me that's right.
Nana Matson, Nana Kurtz Matson at the 17th. She's 105th on the money list. So a good week here, and she'll be safe for next season. The 23-year-old Dane who won 3 times on the Symetra Tour last year to get that graduation early to the LPGA Tour. I thought she would be in the running for a captain's pick for the Solheim Cup with the way she played in 2017, despite the fact that she wasn't an LPGA member, but she did not get the call up from Annika.
Hello. I think the player really missing though from the European team last time around was Pernilla. She had not won at that point, but she was still an accomplished player.
And in the end, Pedersen, because she couldn't play, she was replaced by Katrina Matthew. Suzanne Pedersen, by the way, who's had great success in this championship over the years, is enjoying life as a mother back home in Norway.
Little boy.
Now Ernst for birdie.
Similar putt to Amy's. A little swing from left to right, and more directly into the wind, though.
Those days on the golf course when you leave yourself a lot of putts A lot of second putts that are 3, 4, 5 feet long are hard days.
To the green at 10. Mariah Stackhouse at 8 under to get it to 9 and within 3. Hmm. 24-year-old looking for her first win. A couple of top 10s this season.
Amy Yang for a really good birdie here at 3.
This would be a great birdie. Downwind putt, little right to left and downhill. Wow.
Another one.
This is fun to watch,
yeah.
y'all.
So Amy Yang to 13 under par, putting a little bit of daylight between herself and the rest of the field, trying to...
7 under with a bogey. Tom.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible golf, really, considering the conditions for the tee at 2.
And Henderson.
Really see the wind whipping through those trees behind the tee. Not the easiest fairway to hit because it looks so wide, but it actually just hugs the right side.
Good angle there. Some of those approach shots getting tougher and tougher at 2 with the wind blowing and the marsh right in front.
She's one of my good friends, and it's like her. I'm like,
all right, you trust it. You don't have to hit it any harder. Down grip and punch it in there.
Hataoka. Caddy giving her the advice of flighting it just like she did at the 9th.
Go.
In the 9th hole, she was a little long of the flag. This time, she's about the same distance short.
Speaking of that, Tom, check out our Sam Dessou refreshing shots of the day. As mentioned, Hataoka early. This at the 5th. She was 8 under at this point, Jude.
Hit a nice high shot. She was following it, thought it was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Didn't know it was that good.
It was good. Didn't know the high 5 was up there hanging too. Now, Anna Nordquist at 14.
Particularly hard. Downwind, front hole.
Easy shot. Come on. Well, now 30 on that 9 to Dafa Sawanapura at 18.
After a really good tee shot.
Just didn't feel good about putting at 18. Wanted to avoid it. So we asked how many we're going to see. We saw 3 of them, maybe more this afternoon. Who knows? Some to see refreshing shots of the day. Very active 3 hours here. Closing it out. Day 2 of the CP Women's Open.
Just give it a lot of leeway on the right because the green, you have like 15 yards of green to the right. So I'd give it about 6 yards at least. Split between like the... So you do think it's hurting you? Well, like 2 yards. So just hit the skull then? I think full would be fine. Like just 150 shots good. And just between like that little skinny tree that's like way in the distance. Yeah, that's fine there. Or maybe just right there too.
Got all that, Jared?
Pretty much. More than anything, just the trust that they have in each other is really awesome. 159 to the hole. This line decently still left and a little short.
Barely hanging in there.
Yeah, a little scary.
Got away with a couple of wayward ones on that opening 9 and there at 2. Back to 1.
Torres missed the green left, chipped up to here. Good up and down. Remains 6 under for the day.
So trying to figure out the wind now, Sunheim Park.
More directly in from here than as much from the right as on Brooks' shot. This 142 yards, though, and to tell you the velocity of the wind, she's going 6 iron. It's a club she can hit 170 yards.
I think that's totally the key with being a good wind player, is you have to understand how far the ball's going to go into the wind. You can't be afraid to take more club. Everybody's trying to kill some club
140 hole.
because it's into the wind, and that's exactly the wrong way to go.
About 35.
It should be good though, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
20, I mean, even 30's playing 40, right?
Yeah.
To get it on. So you just got to start it. It's in that bunker, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, coming in.
Yeah.
It's going to move it right to left. Okay. Trust it.
Norquist now going with 8 iron. She naturally hits a good into the wind ball. She hits it typically a little lower than a lot of players and doesn't spin it a ton. And I think she needs to get pretty much all of this. Picked it cleanly, not ballooning in the wind. Line is exceptional.
That is some shot.
She's got a little flatter backswing, little compact, a little bit flatter backswing. That accounts for a little lower ball flight.
Nasa for birdie at 13. Oh, looks really good. Just a little too pacey. 2 behind Amy Yang here. The second round of the CP Women's Open. A breezy day in Saskatchewan.
Today's coverage is brought to you by CP, proud title sponsor of the Canadian Pacific Women's Open. By Volvic Vivid, the world's best-selling matte finish golf balls. Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable. And by Prudential, official financial services provider of the LPGA. I don't know.
I think.
I do not know.
90 seconds off on the nose.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
No way. No. No way.
Hey, you can, I just was going to tell you, you can see the first Mamma Mia on Netflix. I saw that today.
Are you going today?
I didn't go.
Are you going today?
I don't have anybody to go.
Oh, God, I'll go with
No,
you.
you don't.
I'll go.
I refuse to go with you.
Jelly's going to go with you.
Do they serve beer?
They probably do.
They
in
might.
Canada, right? I mean,
They do in L.A.
it's
I'll smuggle.
Beth, you want to go to the movie this afternoon? Apparently not. Okay.
That was Jesse's laugh. Come on, Beth. Could hear that.
What does this mean, crickets?
It means silence when somebody says something. Back to wrap things up here, day 2. Reminder Golf Central coming your way to set the stage for second round of Northern Trust FedEx Cup playoffs. And we're back tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Coverage of weekend play here at the CP Women's Open. So this afternoon, Jude, I mean, we've seen such great play so far. 7 under, that it's hard to really take in how difficult the wind can be, but it's going to be difficult this afternoon.
It is going to be very difficult this afternoon. They did get a little breather in the early part of the day with just breezes and not this wind, but the wind won't go away now, I don't believe.
That showcase group has been awfully entertaining. Brooke Henderson, obviously, with all the people out here wanting to see her win, but Sunghyun Park kind of thriving on that attention, and Anna Nordquist just going crazy on her opening 9.
Yeah, it's that's been a good pairing to watch this morning. And, there could very well be some really good golf this afternoon, but I think one of the things that will happen is the greens will firm up with this wind, and that always makes scoring much tougher.
Brooks Brigade out in full force to see where Brooke Henderson will be heading into the weekend, trying to win this Canadian National Championship for the very first time. Amy Yang, what a round so far, not done yet, and she's up by 2 at 13 under. Golf Central next, and we'll see you tomorrow once again, 3 o'clock.